One thing I have noticed, and it covers the north of England rather than just Liverpool, but is that it's the north of England or Liverpool. It seems to be a lot easier for companies to raise finance in and around London, and a lot of the big finance providers, certainly the global ones, don't tend to travel so far up north, especially in the earlier stages of the company. For mature companies, it's easier, but and they will travel for them. But typically, for startups and early stage companies, I think geography does hamper it slightly, and more outward-looking investors are what's required.
It's the same battles every time you go through the funding process, which is again proving the point of why you need it, what you're going to do with it, and what the end is going to be. So it doesn't get easier, but you become more used to the process, so you know how long it's going to take. You know what information you need, you know how to pitch things, so it just becomes part of something that you do rather than something that you're doing for the first time, I suppose.
Well, to get investment ready, the best thing that a company can do is actually speak to people that have been there and done it before, who know the ropes, who know what the investor's going to want to see, so that they can make sure that their business plan is correct and that their financial projections are reasonable, accurate and believable, and that they're giving the investor all the information that they're going to need to make that decision an awful lot more easy.
It's an interesting question, really. I think it's something we've been thinking about from starting the company through just my own savings, growing the company quite organically during the time. Now we're in a position where we employ 12 people, and now I'm trying to decide whether we want to continue to grow organically or whether we should look at the investment angle. It is something we've had an approach from a few agencies and companies around VC funding and investment. So we're just kind of looking at deciding on the right path for ourselves, really, before we make that decision.
I think it's a really good time in a way. We've had two very big companies close down, which is a bad thing, Sony and Bizarre Creations. But a significant percentage, at least 30 or 40% of those people have stayed, and many of those have started their own businesses. So we're looking at some really interesting new companies coming along, and Liverpool does seem to be able to compete quite well in this new mobile app marketplace.
Okay. Yeah, I think the company has been going for about 3 years, and we've raised money on several occasions, as you say. And I think the thing that really surprised me on all of those occasions is that really can be quite time-consuming to be ready for receiving any kind of funding, because as a company you need to be really clear about what your proposition is to any potential funder. You need to have a very clear focus on how you're going to deliver on what your proposition is. And in some cases, or if you get an equity investor in, also giving them indication of what their potential exit is further down the line, and putting all of that together into a coherent business plan and a pitch, and being able to articulate that when talking to investors does take time and does take effort. So it's definitely something that requires you to be very serious about it, and invest the time in making sure that you're ready for when you raise funding.